Hello everyone, today we have a Bomag 8500 roller, compact roller. It's used for compact rolling inside of trenches and ditches. The customer says it will not start, will not crank, doesn't have any power at all. Let's fix it. This is our trench roller, and this is the control. It is remote controlled. Let's get a good look at it. Okay, it's a BMP 8500. As you can see, it's for compacting trenches. It has a vibrator on it, and the problem with it is that it does not start, don't crank, don't do anything. So let's cut it on and give it a shot. It's on. Okay, this is the remote here. I'll let you hold the camera. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the remote right here. And when you turn this, just like this, you turn this right here. Now this little light here, that little thing should come on. That little panel should light up, and then when you see the oil pressure, water temperature, and you see the sensors for when you're moving. Because you can see it's all controlled by this little remote control device, but it does not come on, so that means there's no power. So let's open it up and see what's going on. Okay, just grab it here and lift it up. This is the inside. There's your battery. Let's give it a quick check. We'll check out the battery here. You want the camera? Okay. Let's come over here. Then on the positive, and you put that one on the negative, and you see the battery is in the good section. See, it's in the green. That means it's good. Push the button, it goes down a little bit, it comes back up. That's a good battery. Okay. So the problem is not the battery. What we're going to do is we're going to check that control device is controlled by, if I remember correctly, it should be a 5 amp fuse. This one right here. Okay. This is the fuse that controls that white panel right there, I remember. And it looks good. It's a good fuse. But we'll check with the voltmeter and check and make sure. Okay, in here. Okay, so we're gonna put it on continuity. See that right there? If you look at the gauge, it says open line. So when you put the fuse one on one and one on the other, it beeps and it goes to 0. That means the fuse is good. That's for checking the fuses. You can also check it right here. If you check it right here, it'll just read 0. See, it's open line. Put them together. 0 ohms of resistance. Okay, so it's a good fuse. This is the fuse, the main fuse that controls the computer. So that's good. We'll put it back in. And we'll check and make sure there's power there to the fuse. So we're going to put it on DC voltage. This is DC volts, which means direct current. That's battery voltage. So we're going to put that down. We'll put it up here so you can see it. And we'll put one lead on the fuse and one lead to ground. You see we got voltage. See 11.6? It's a little bit below 12, but it's a good fuse. We'll check this side also. We'll move it over, 11.6. That means there's power to the fuse, and the fuse is good. Okay, so if it doesn't come up, what we'll have to do is we'll have to disconnect the controller and check it out first before we do anything else. So we will close this down. Oh, actually we'll use it right here. We'll unplug it right here. We'll unplug this. If I remember correctly, you can see that. You set it up in the air from the top Okay, let's come over here to where the battery is. We'll have to check the voltage on this. The power that comes in from that fuse, I believe comes in on the second one down from the dot. It should be right there. So there should be 12 volts. This is the one that goes to the 12 volts that go to that fuse, come from that fuse and go to the controller. So I'm going to put this where we can see it actually. And see if we got voltage. Check it out. Let's see. That's 8, 9, 10. Oh, we want 1, 2 to the ground. Okay. No voltage. Let's make sure it's turned. It's on. And let's check the other one here. It's DC voltage. Oh, you know what? Let's put on the box. Let's put on the box here. So to put it on, turn this way. It is on. An emergency stop has to be out. And it should be a green line. And you want to make sure that this switch here, can you see this switch right here? This switch right here? This switch has to be in the walk connection. This connection here is for when you're going to use the remote. You can actually operate the machine without the cable. If you use it with the cable, it has to be in this position right here. That way you can actually use it with the cable and walk behind the machine. But for more safety, most of the time they put it here and they unplug the cord so they can actually use it. Okay. So we're going to put it in the second one from the split there from the top part and check the ground. And we got 11.6 volts. So we know we have power coming out, going to the controller. Can you see that 11.5 there? Yeah, so there's power actually going out. See, you can see where we plugged it in at. This one right here, which is the second one down from the slot. And we got to the ground. Got 11.65. So this sends power to the controller. Okay. But there's no power to the gauge right here. Sensor to gauge. So what we're going to do, I have a little jumper wire here. We're going to jump that. The power goes in to the remote controller and comes back and goes to this one right here. So that's what the remote controller does to make it operate. Okay, so we're going to plug in here and plug in here just to bypass those and see, make sure our controller is good before we get too deep into it. Okay, so this has to be up in the air like that. Second one down, which is this one right here, and the one at the very bottom, straight down from the slot. Okay, see, it came on. See that? So the machine actually activates and cuts on. That means that the power is not coming back from the controller. So this jumper wire right here, this connection right here sends power out to the remote, and then it comes back out from the remote and goes into here. And it's on now, so that means that it's not getting power back from the remote. We're actually bypassing the remote control system. So the problem is going to be this remote here. This is supposed to be able to operate. There's no remote. There's no way to operate the machine from the machine because you might get ran over. You can only operate it with this. So this is no good. The problem is this thing costs, let me see, around $3,000, $2,700 I think it was. And there's like a, I think it's a $2,000 core charge. So I have to get with the owner and decide what he wants to do. And thank you very much for watching my video. We can't really go any farther because the remote's bad. And that remote costs like $2,700. And I believe there's a cord charge of around $2,000 if you don't return the old one, so you can fix it and resell it again. So what I'll do is I'll get with the owner and he'll decide what he wants to do. So thank you very much for watching my video, and please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. We got a lot more good equipment coming along. Take it easy and have a good evening.